Cece Loves Science by Kimberly Derting. Cece Loves Science. Cece loved to ask questions, and her mother said that her first word was why, and her father said that her first word was how, but her favorite question is what if. You would make a great scientist, Cece, said her teacher, Mrs. Curry, because science is all about asking questions. Do fish ever get thirsty? Cece wanted to know. They do, said Miss Curry. Do hummingbirds really hum? The sound comes from their wings, said Mrs. Curry. What if we all jumped at the same time? Would the earth move? Good question, said Miss Curry. I think we should investigate. Miss Curry told Cece and her friends about famous scientists of history, such as Caroline Herschel, Thomas Edison, George Washington Carver, and Jane Goodall. She also introduced them to many different sciences. Geology is the study of Earth, biology is the study of living things, and entomology is the study of insects. One day, Mrs. Curie told everyone to pair up. For our next project, I'd like you to pick a science that you are curious about and come up with a question to investigate, she said. Cece and her best friend Isaac were a team. They both loved zoology, which was the study of animals. Now they needed to just find an interesting question. But first, they brainstormed different ideas. Science is all about possibilities. Is a bear ticklish? Asked Cece. Do we really want to find out? Asked Isaac. Do pigs know when they are smelly? Asked Cece. Only a pig can answer that, said Isaac. Keep thinking, said Miss Curie. A scientist thinks outside the box and never gives up. That night at dinner, Cece was explaining the project to her parents when her dog Einstein jumped up and started eating the food off her plate. Einstein, down, said Cece's mother. Cece giggled. Her plate was licked clean except for the broccoli. Look what Einstein did, she said. I guess neither of you likes your veggies, said Dad, laughing. This observation gave Cece a great idea. Einstein could be their science project. Cece called Isaac. I got it. Let's find out if dogs eat vegetables. Cool, said Isaac. And Cece couldn't wait to get started. Neither could I. I'm not a big vegetable fan either. Excuse me. The next day after school, Cece and Isaac headed straight to Cece's lab to work on their project. What do we do first? Asked Isaac. Let's observe our subject, Cece said. Observation. Dog treats guaranteed 100% participation, said Cece. Great data, said Isaac. Isaac and Cece watched Einstein eat. They watched Einstein drink. They even watched Einstein sleep. Sometimes science was all about waiting and waiting and waiting for something really cool to happen. From our observations, we know that Einstein loves to eat kibble and dog treats, said Cece. Now we need to investigate our question, said Isaac. Do dogs eat vegetables? Well, I already know that Einstein does not like broccoli, said Cece. I don't like it either. Let's test some different veggies, said Isaac. It's experiment time, said Cece. Finally. Cece and Isaac tried carrots and beans and cucumbers. Einstein turned up his nose to each one. What if we disguise the vegetables with bacon or ketchup? Isaac asked. This time Einstein was interested. He ate all the bacon and licked the ketchup off the vegetables. That means he likes bacon and he likes ketchup, said Cece. What if we mix up the vegetables in his kibble? I bet he won't even know the difference, said Cece. Einstein ate all his kibble but left the vegetables at the bottom of his bowl. Einstein might not eat vegetables, but he sure is smart, said Cece. Cece gave Einstein a treat and rubbed his ears. Good boy, she said. She looked at Isaac and shrugged. Now what? We're supposed to interpret our data, said Isaac. Einstein definitely loves to eat, said Cece. He sure doesn't like broccoli, said Isaac. He doesn't like any vegetables, said Cece. Not even when we cover them in bacon or ketchup, said Isaac. Well, I guess Einstein's just a picky eater, said Cece. That night at dinner, Cece was a little disappointed that she didn't even eat her dessert. Maybe I'm not a real scientist after all, she said. Our project is just so boring. I thought you asked a good question, her dad said. Einstein put his paws on the table and sniffed Cece's banana split. Einstein, Cece giggled, naughty puppy. And her mother laughed and pulled Einstein away. He may not like vegetable, but he sure likes bananas. That's when Cece remembered something that Miss Curie had always said. Scientists think outside of the box. What if we created a secret recipe using bananas, she asked. Cece and Isaac rushed home after school and mixed together carrots, beans, cucumbers, and bananas in a blender. Are those still veggies? Asked Isaac. Yup, said Cece. They're just in a different form. Gross, said Isaac, wrinkling his nose. Cece poured the mixture into Einstein's bowl. How about a special smoothie, she asked, petting his head. At first, Einstein looked confused. He circled the bowl. He sniffed the bowl. And then he got down on his belly and wagged his tail. And then he slurped down the entire thing. Look, he loves it, said Isaac. In science, not all results are totally predictable. Einstein doesn't eat vegetables, but when we mix them with bananas, said Cece, he does. And that's when Cece remembered the most extraordinary observation of all. Science is not always about asking questions. Real scientists have fun finding answers too. Cece Science Facts. Biology, the study of living things. This includes plants, animals, and fungi. It also includes bacteria and viruses that make us sick. Gross. Brainstorm to come up with some awesome ideas. Caroline Herschel, an astronomer who discovered the 8 planets. 6 of them are named after her. Data, a collection of facts for an experiment. Einstein, my dog and favorite test subject. He's named after Albert Einstein, a famous scientist who had wild hair and tons of theories about math and physics. Entomology, the study of zoology, which includes of insects. A branch of zoology which studies insects. My mistake. Experiment, a scientific test to investigate questions and find answers. Geology, the study of Earth and what it's made out of. George Washington Carver, he studied botany, the study of plants, and was known as a plant doctor. Interpret, to explain the meaning of information that is created. Investigate, to discover and examine ideas. Jane Goodall, she was an expert on chimpanzees and even lived with them in Tanzania, in Africa. Lab, another word for laboratory, is a special place where scientists make really cool stuff happen. Miss Curie, my teacher who is amazing and has the same name as Marie Curie, the first lady to win the Nobel Prize and the only woman to win it twice for physics and chemistry. Observation, information you gather by watching something or someone. Result, the outcome of which something can be totally unexpected. Scientist, a person who studies science. Test subject, a person, place, or thing being tested. Thomas Edison, an inventor famous for inventing the phonograph, the record player, the motion picture camera to make movies, and the light bulb. Variable, a part of an experiment that can be changed in order to test a hypothesis. Zoology, the study of animals and animal life. I'll hold it up again.